Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to the hearings of the Commission. And Imam, you have the floor. If you can give us some offer prayers, please.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين ربنا إننا آمنا فاغفر لنا ذنوبنا وقنا عذاب النار الصابرين والصادقين والقانتين والمنفقين والمستغفرين بالإسخار شهد الله أنه لا إله وملائكته وأولو العلم قائما بالقسط لا إله إلا هو العزيز الحكيم ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون وسلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين آمين.
Shukran, Imam Diallo. And Bishop, you have the floor, please.
Thank you, Chairman. Lord God Almighty, praise, honor, and glory be unto your name forever and ever. As we continue the sittings of the TRRC, we continue to bring the whole populace before you, those that are here and those that are abroad, that are following the sittings, that are following the witnesses, what they have to say. And we continue to pray that your Holy Spirit will move within the hearts and minds of the people of this nation, so that, Lord, patience will be their lot as the sitting goes on, as we continue to hear revolutions, things that may be hurtful, things that may be unpleasant. But give us the courage to allow the due process of the law to take its course. And for we know that you will deal justly with each and every one. This we ask through Christ our Lord. Amen.
Amen. Thank you very much indeed, my Bishop. Council, are we ready with this morning's witness? If so, please proceed.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman. Good morning, Commissioners. Good morning to you all. The witness is in the waiting room. Can I ask that he be brought in?
I, Yusupha Sanneh,
I, Yusupha Sanneh,
do swear that
I will speak the truth,
I will speak the truth,
the whole truth,
and nothing but the truth.
and nothing but the truth.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Good morning, Mr. Sanneh. Welcome to the TRRC.
Good morning, ma.
How are you doing this morning?
I'm fine, ma. Thank you.
Thank you for honoring our invitation. We have quite a lot to cover today,
Yes, ma.
but I will first start by introducing myself properly, because we met very briefly this morning. My name is Horeja Balagay. I will be asking you questions today on behalf of the commissioners.
Yes, ma.
At the end of my questions, the commissioners may also ask you additional questions, and then you will be allowed to make a final statement.
Yes, ma.
You have just taken an oath to tell the truth, the
Yes,
whole
ma'am.
truth.
Yes, ma.
You understand what that means?
Yes, ma.
And you do understand that it is an offense to lie or mislead the commission.
Yes, ma.
You have been informed of these rules, but I just repeat them for the sake of the record. Additionally, there is interpretation going on into the local languages.
Yes, ma.
During your testimony, we will start in English, but you have also requested to speak in Mandinka at certain points,
Yes, ma.
and also in Jola at certain points.
Yes, ma.
So we will alert the interpreters when that time comes, because they need to switch the interpreters from different booths in order for them to interpret it.
Yes, ma.
But as you and I are speaking right now in English, there is still interpretation into Wolof and Mandinka and Fuller in here, the hearing room, so we must speak slowly.
Yes, ma'am.
And please allow a break between when I end my speech and when you begin to respond to my questions, just so that there won't be any overlapping speech.
Yes, ma'am.
So that will make it a bit slower, but we do have the time, and we have a lot to cover. If at any point my questions are unclear or you would like me to repeat my question, please feel free to do so.
Yes, ma'am.
The topics that we will cover today are just the background of who you are, so your personal details, your educational background, as well as your work experience.
Yeah.
We will talk about your role as a physical guard at Kanilai.
Yes, ma'am.
We will also talk about any incidents that you may have witnessed at that time,
Yes,
which
ma'am.
are of interest to the Commission.
Yes, ma'am.
Then we will talk about your role as one of the former orderlies of former President Yahya Jammeh.
Yes, ma'am.
We will also talk about other incidents that you have knowledge about or you may have witnessed during that time. And we will cover a lot of information about generally what kind of person Yahya Jammeh was, the type of experience you had working with him. We will also talk about another topic, which is the focus of the theme of the Commission right now, which is on sexual and gender-based violence.
Yes, ma'am.
And then lastly, we will talk about your arrest and detention, as well as members of your family.
Yes, ma'am.
And so those are the 5 big topics, but of course there's a lot to cover within most of the topics.
Yes,
Do you
ma'am.
understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you ready to proceed with that?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. For the record, can you please state your full name?
My name is Yusupha Sanneh.
Mr. Sanneh, can you tell us when and where you were born?
I was born on the September 11, 1976, in Sifo village.
And can you give us a brief history about your educational background? So telling us which institutions you attended and the years when you attended those institutions.
I attended Sifo Primary School in 1984 to 1986. From there, from 84 to 1989. Then after, I proceeded to Gunjur Secondary School from 1989 academic year to 1990 to 1994. Then I graduated from the Gunjur Secondary Technical School.
And after you finished at Gunjur Technical School, did you begin your career or did you do something else in between?
During that time, I was an athletics. That is from 1994-5 sort. Then after I joined the army in 1995.
Do you recall the month when you joined the army?
It's going to be like maybe September and 18 intake.
18 intake,
Yeah.
Thank you for that. So when you joined the Gambia National Army in September 95, as the 18 intake, can you tell us a bit about what kind of training you had?
It's like infantry training. That was in Fajara Barracks. That's 4 months.
And what kind of training did that entail? When you say infantry training, what did it entail?
That's like, a basic military, like somebody who joined the army, like an infantry, soldier.
So I assume you would learn about drills and how to
Drills,
handle
yeah,
weapons.
how to handle
That's-
safety of weapons,
And so after 4 months of your training, what was your rank?
I was a recruit, private soldier,
And after the training,
Then I was transferred to the gas battalion, that is Fajara Barracks.
So you were a private soldier at Fajara Barracks.
Fajara Barracks, yes.
Can you tell us, so that would have been at the beginning of 1996,
Yeah,
correct?
in the same 1995, because September, October, November, December.
Okay.
Then graduate on as a recruit on December, then 1996 in Fajara Barracks. Yes, as a private soldier.
And so what was your role when you were posted at Fajara Barracks? What did your job entail?
In Fajara Barracks, I was in the Bravo company, like doing guards, like duties in the barracks. And sometimes we go for away guard. We call it like, away guard, like go to power station,
And essentially, what would be your role there? Would it
As
just be
securities, different places like go to power station. Sometimes we go to Cape Point, Radio Gambia. You understand?
so to guard key installations in the
Key
country?
installations, yeah.
And how much time did you spend at Fajara Barracks as a guard?
It's like from 96 to up to 2000. Then 2002.
Just a question before that. During that period between 1996 and 2000, did you undergo any other type of training?
No.
Okay. And during that time, did your rank change?
It's not changed as a private soldier.
Okay. So after spending that period at Fajara Barracks until 2000, what happened in 2000?
In 2000, I was transferred as an orderly to the battalion commander over there in Fajara Barracks.
And do you recall the name of the battalion commander that you served?
I served
with?
for the two commanders, like Major. They call him Yusupha. I forgot his name, See it? Yusupha Charm, Or maybe I will remember his name, because long time. Then after Major Chorna Jallo is the last one I served,
And so for how long did you serve as an orderly to the command?
2 years. From 2000 to from year 2000 to 2002.
And as an orderly for the commander of Fajara Barracks, what were your responsibilities?
My responsibilities like taking care of the office, the command office over there in Fajara Barracks, like cleaning the office, parking, make sure that everything is in order over there, like the files, and taking care of like the commander's personal belongings, like shoes to sign them so that they can be glittered, Because as a commander, the orderlies like their commander to be, so much neat and clean, like the shoes signing, should be signed. Anywhere they go, they are supposed to be signing. So that is our main job over there.
So taking care of the commander's personal items, essentially, as well as files at the office. Going with the commander to various places as well?
Yeah, sometimes, sometimes if you want to go to a place, we go. Sometimes he'll say, okay, you stay in the office.
And did your rank change at all while you were serving as orderly to the commander of Fajara Barracks?
No.
And after that, can you tell us if you underwent any kind of training, any kind of military training at all?
Yes, I went for commando training. That was when the commander, Major Chorna Jallo, went for a course. I remember, he traveled So he went for UN mission. So by that time, there is an adjutant over there, the second in command. But he's not, I'm the one going to, my job is only going to the office and clean the office and stay there. So the second in command is the adjutant who is there. So during that time, it's like, there's no, they don't post a commander to that place. So I was free. So the adjutant which was there, told me you are selected to go for a commando training course.
Do you recall the name of the adjutant at that time?
Is General Bah. It's now, later Bah. He was in I don't know, Nigeria. Then after he went to US.
Do you know General Bah's first name?
I forgot his name, but I will think about it here.
So General Bah told you...
Is it Aliu Bah? Aliu Bah, something like that.
So General Bah told you about a commando training.
Commando training, yeah.
Tell us a bit about that.
Yeah, when I was with one soldier, he's also a private soldier. His name is Aliu Jeng. We are the one who sell. Aliu Jeng was in Bravo Company at that time.
And this Aliu Jeng, do you know where he is currently?
I know he's here in the Gambia here. No, he's detained. I don't know. I was reading the TRC, so his testimony. I don't know what. I don't go deeply in it, but they say Alan that he's detained.
So it is the Aliu Jeng who has appeared before the TRRC as a witness?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you recall what year that commando training was held?
Same 2002.
2002.
Yeah.
Tell us a bit more about the training itself, what it entailed.
The training is like, it's like Scorpion 2. It's like, as the first badge is like, they train the first badge, then that was called Scorpion 1. Then Scorpion 2 is the second training team.
And this would help us have more clarity about this. When you say they trained the first batch, Scorpion 1, you were not part of that training, correct?
Yeah, I'm not part of that team, yeah.
Do you know when that training took place?
I don't know actually, but I think after 6 months, when they finish their training, then our team go.
And still focusing on Scorpion 1, do you know who gave that training?
This is, I believe, that circular came from the Army headquarters, the Gambia Army headquarters,
So let me phrase it differently. Are you aware of whether the trainers were Gambians or foreign nationals?
The training team is foreigners. You have the foreigners there and the Gambians. The foreigners like that, they are Libyans.
So training conducted by Libyans as well as Gambians?
Yes, Libyans and the Gambians, yeah.
And that was Scorpion 1?
Yeah.
Do you know of any of your colleagues who took part in that training, the Scorpion 1?
Yeah, like Aliu Jeng, the one, I go with. Then you have the other colleagues from other battalions like Yankuba Sanyang, Buba Sanneh, you have Lamin Sedikan, you have Sergeant Job, St. Job, you have Anyway, it's a long time, maybe if I sit, I can recall all the names,
No, that's quite helpful. And what were the ranks of these soldiers that you've mentioned at the time?
Some of them are sergeants, some are private soldiers,
So it was a mix of ranks,
yeah.
that pursued this training.
Yeah.
So let's focus on Scorpio 2, which is the training that you took part in 2002.
Yeah.
Who were the trainers?
The trainers are the Libyans, training team. The Libyans, our commander, the colonel is Colonel Ahmad. You have Staff Sergeant Ramadan and Faraj. We have one name here, his name is Faraj.
And all three of them were Libyans?
Libyans, and Saad is a sergeant. Sergeant Saad is a Libyan.
Saad,
S-A-D, Saad.
Saad. And apart from the Libyans, were there any Gambian trainers?
Yeah.
Can you tell us who they were?
Solbaji, General Solbaji. You have Staff Sergeant Mustafa Fall. You have Maliki Jata, because those people attended Scorpion 1 training. They said when I was there, he was an instructor there. You have Sana Manjang, also an instructor.
Were those the only Gambian trainers, instructors that you recall?
Yes. Maybe if I think foreign, I can remember some.
But there were more than
that,
ones.
yeah.
Let's talk about some of the trainees, such as yourself. Who else was part of your group? Who else was trained?
In our group, yes, it's 2002, maybe if I think, if you give me time, I go, I have break later, I can recall the names,
But do you recall roughly how many of you were trained during Scorpio 2?
Yeah.
How many roughly? Was it
Almost
20
like
or more?
a platoon, it's a platoon almost, 30 people.
So about 30?
Yeah, during the training, some drop, some of, during the training, because they say it's a qualification, if you don't reach the standard, they drop you.
And how long did this training last?
It lasts almost 4 to 5 months, yeah.
And do you recall where the training was held?
It's the Gambia Police Training School in Yundumi.
So this training at the police school, the commando training, tell us what your courses were about. What did you learn? What did you have to do during that training?
First, we train to become commandos, like physical fitness, surviving behind enemy line, infiltration, survival, and ship to beach, divorcing from ship to beach, infiltration and operation in the river.
Yeah, please continue.
Yeah, it's all about that,
Okay. And so when you say moving from ship to, it was more of a
Yeah,
sea
training in the river,
exercise.
yeah, operation in the river,
Okay.
you know.
And so, do you know what the objective of this training course was about? What was the end, the objective of it?
Normally, before we start training, you know, these people we normally pray in the name of God. That this every day in our drill before we start training, you know, we always pray. Somebody will pray in front, like in the name of God. Whatever we do is between us and God, and we are there to protect and defend the country and take orders.
Let me put it differently. After the training ended, about 4 or 5 months of training, were you posted anywhere in particular?
Yeah.
Did your role change? Tell us about that.
Yeah. After the training, they transfer us to the State House.
You told us that you began the training with about a platoon, so about 30 men.
Yeah, almost.
And some people dropped out.
Yeah, some like 20-something people.
And were all 20-something of you posted at the State House?
In the State House, yeah.
So everyone who finished the course was posted at the State House?
Yeah, at the State House, yeah.
And would this have still been in 2002 or 2003?
2002.
2002.
Yeah, 2002, I think so.
You told us the name Scorpio 2. Do you know where the name came from or what it signifies for your group?
I don't know, but I know of State House symbol is like a scorpion. The badge of State House is a scorpion. You know, that is our symbol, you know.
So when you were transferred to State House in 2002, what was the name of your battalion or your company? What exactly, which part of the army were you in at State House?
I was, they put us on the Delta Company.
Just so we understand the setup at State House, can you explain, are these members of the State Guards? Is that correct?
Yeah.
And at the State House, how many companies did you have from the State Guards? Were all of you based at State House or were some of you based elsewhere?
Yeah, when we transferred newly, we are all based in the State House, in the Delta Company.
Was there another group of soldiers at State House apart from the Delta Company?
Yeah, you have the Bravo Company. That is the plain cloth, you know. And you have the Support Weapon Company.
Did the Support Weapon Company have a particular name that it was known by?
No, they only call them Support Weapon.
So these were the three groups of
admin, you know.
And admin.
Admin.
So you were placed in the Delta Company.
Yeah.
Tell us what your role was as a member of the Delta Company.
We normally perform duties there in the QRF.
And QRF, Quick Reaction Force, correct?
Yeah.
Tell us what your duties were as a member of the QRF.
QRF is like when, you know, the president is going out like convoy. Sometimes, you know, they select some of us to man, you know, the convoy, you know, vehicles, like the support to go on advance Like he's supposed to, attend a meeting around. So we come in advance and hold the ground.
And apart from that, what else were members of the QRF responsible for?
Yeah, the guard in the State House, like you have the towers, sangas and the bunkers. Yeah.
And that's for the QRF. What
QRF,
about
yeah, QRF, they used to dispatch, guards from there. They do those guards.
So you told us QRF was manned by the Delta Company.
Yeah.
Was it
time.
all members of the Delta Company who had QRF duties?
And you
or
have
some of you?
I forget one. You have one company, physical guard. They call them physical guard. Also, sometimes we work together. Delta Company and the physical guard sometimes, mingle together.
And what was the difference between the Delta Company and the physical guards?
Delta Company is the commandos, and the physical guards are most of the infantry soldiers,
Did the physical guards have a different role in terms of, let's say, protection duties that was different from the Delta Company?
Yeah, all the doing duties sometimes, Denton Bridge, mile 2, they normally go there, mile 2, Denton Bridge. You have Banjul, Battery Flat, Tower up over there, airport,
And you said the Bravo Company were the plainclothes.
Plainclothes, yeah.
What was their role or what were their functions within State House?
They are like bodyguards. They are the bodyguards. But they used to secure inner core in the State House.
And what would inner core entail?
That is the state building. The state building you have the front gate and the back gate and the back. So the plainclothes are responsible to secure that place,
And where would the other guards secure?
All the plainclothes are based only maybe in Kanelai also.
Were there any at State House in Banjul?
No, only that place I can remember.
Okay. And also you had the Support Weapons Company.
Support Weapon Company, yeah.
What were they responsible for?
Those are like sometimes like artillery, heavy weapons, They are the one responsible for that,
And then you had the administrative.
Yeah, administrative, yeah.
So essentially from what you've told us, this would be about a battalion or just a bit more than a battalion?
It's a battalion.
A battalion.
Battalion, all combined, all groups.
Okay. For how long were you posted at State House as a guard within the Delta Company?
From 2002 up to 2004.
And during that time, were you at any point promoted? Did your rank change?
Yeah. After the commando train, I was promoted to Lance Corporal because my promotion come from my parent battalion. That was Fajara Barracks. I was on the attachment in the State House. My promotion, my posting is not confirmed yet, because they put me on the attachment. So my promotion come from Fajara Barracks as a Lance Corporal. That was 2002, the end of 2002.
So between 2002 and 2004, you were a member of the Delta Company.
Delta Company, yeah.
In the State Guard.
Yeah.
Were you based at State House in Banjul only, or did you go to another location?
Yeah, we are in Banjul up to a time. They said there is a transfer for Delta, all the Delta company to go to Kanilai. That was around, I think, early 2003. They transfer all of us to Kanilai, all the Delta company.
And when the Delta Company moved to Kanilai, can you tell us under whose command you were at Kanilai?
That time, Major Khalifa Bajinka was there. He's late, he passed away.
And who was Major Khalifa Bajinka's deputy at the time?
You have Major Kausu Sanyang is there, and I forgot one officer. What? Maybe later I'll recall his name.
We'll have quite a few names to come back to as time goes on.
Mm-hmm.
When you arrived at Kanilai, were you given any briefing as to what was expected of you?
Yeah, they told us that there's a lot of trade going around Kanilai area, so Delta Company is supposed to go there immediately. That transfer is like it's an urgent. The way they brief us, they say Delta Company prepare. Some of us don't even take our bags. They say it's urgent. You have to go to Kanilai. There is a threat over there around the borders. The rebels are trying, and the Senegalese forces. So they say the mission Delta Company should move to Kanilai immediately. So when we arrived there, then we report there to our commander. Then we take over the guard posts, like the borders, the guard posts around the border. Kanilai is so close to Senegal, border area.
The Casamas region?
Yeah, we take over all those guard posts around that area, and we conducting patrols, frequent patrol around the borders every time.
And what were you briefed in terms of what you should look for as you were patrolling the borders, the Gambian-Senegalese border?
All it was that, rebels entering the country and the Senegal forces also, operating in the Gambian territory borders, So that's what they tell us. So we have to make sure that the patrols, they will brief us like, any unusual, the commanders have to, take the situation and send a report,
So what would a normal day be for you at Kanilai as part of your border patrol duties? Was it every day or?
It's every day. Some will be, position like in the guard posts, some going patrol, some coming.
And how would your patrols be conducted? Were you walking? Were you using vehicles?
Vehicles, we use vehicles.
And would you go in groups?
Yeah, we go in a section from.
So about 8 or 9 men?
Yeah.
Okay. And you would be patrolling the border up and down?
Border, yeah. Sometimes we start from Kanilai, we come up to Bagwe, up to Dasilame,
And apart from these patrol duties, were you tasked to do anything else?
Yes. During the patrol, we go up, I think this patrol go up to a time, maybe I can say, up to around maybe 2, 3, 4 months, So because that time we put on uniform when we going on those patrol. So the order change, we don't have to put on uniform. You have to dress on casual dress anyhow.
Plain clothes.
Yeah, like any dress.
And was there, well, let me phrase that differently. What kind of weapons did you have at that time?
That time, our personal weapons like it's AK-47 and pistol. No, I'm wrong. Sorry, only AK-47.
For how long did you serve at Kanilai? You said from the beginning of 2003.
Yeah.
How long did you stay at Kanilai?
Yeah, I was there up to from 2003 up to 2004. I remember up to 2004.
During that time that you were based at Kanilai, 2003 to 2004, were you involved in any kind of operation?
Yeah, I'm involved in one operation that time. That was 2003.
Do you remember when in 2003?
I cannot remember the month.
Was it in the first half of the year? Was it in the second half of the year?
Maybe second, maybe it can be second, or I cannot remember actually the month, But I know it's in 2003 itself.
Can you tell us what happened, what that operation was about?
We, as normal, we put on, normal dress, normal dress. So we start patrol from Kanilai. We come up to, that was, I think we depart there around maybe 1 o'clock, 12 or 1. So we came up to around the border area. We go up to Dasilame. We go up to we come to Serekunda,
And when you say we, who was with you at the time?
At that time, General Baji was driving. Then he was, I don't know whether a captain or what, I cannot remember his rank.
What's the first name of General Baji?
Suleiman Baji, Sol Baji.
Yeah. Please continue. Who else was part of your team?
Then you have Major Bora Koli. Bora Koli is in. You have, that time, Manjang was a Staff Sergeant Sana Manjang. You have Sirif Jise. That time I don't know his rank, I don't know where the couple. You have Michael Correa. And myself, Yusupha Sanneh.
So it's a team of 6 people.
Yeah.
Can you tell us what happened?
Yeah, when we patrol, we came up to around night, I think 2 to 3 o'clock at night, General Sol Baji is the driver. He took us up to a place around Kanifing. I don't know actually, that place, So he said, this is a mission come from the ex-president. I just made that, independent newspaper supposed to be born. Should be born. So, but let me put this clear. Before, when the patrol order was changed, like, we don't put on uniforms, we put on casual dress. So at that time, the commander over there, the late Bajinka, brief us, tell us that, you gotta be very careful. There is abnormality. Anytime you go outside, be careful. Let somebody don't tell you to do something, which is not, in line with the job. Bajinka give us that briefing, and one officer, that time, he was there. He's also Major Sajo Jaju. He's also part of, when we transfer to Kanelai Delta Company. So Major Sajo Jaju also is another commander who also brief us and tell us that, let us be very careful. We are going on patrol, things change. You see now, you are not putting on uniform. So be very careful whatever you do there. If you do something wrong there, one day you will be questioned. So be very careful. So
at that point, what did you understand by those briefings?
I don't understand those briefings, but like I much what somebody tell you about that. Be careful. Now on your patrol, you don't put a uniform. You go. Be careful. Maybe they know something which we don't know. But they give like an advice. Be careful. You do something. You know that you are doing something wrong. One day you will be questioned. So I have, for me, I take that advice from the commander at that time, and Sajo Jaju also, once brief people, So until, some people, report him to he have a problem through that, he don't enjoy staying there. I think he have a problem with the former president that, he's the one, he learned that, he's the one who is discouraging the soldiers, whatever he do, he will see.
And so when late, he's late now, Major Bajinka told you that be careful that someone does not make you do something. Do you know who he was talking about? Or
No, I don't know at that time, He was just giving an advice, because that time, like every soldier there is very careful what you will say, if they know, they can give you advice, but it's not going to be like directly, but it's going to be like, indirectly. So
at that time, who could have given you orders? So we know Major Bajinka was the commander.
Yeah.
Who else could have given you orders apart from Major Bajinka at that time?
Like sometimes they normally brief parade, like in the morning parade, like Susanya will be there, understand, Sajo Jajo will be there. Like every day we have morning parade, like soldiers falling in the morning who are in the ground to know who is sick or who is not around,
You told us that the entire Delta Company had been moved to Kanilai.
Yeah.
Who was the leader of your platoon?
I don't know the leader of the platoon, but I know this guy, the commander was there. This guy, Major Khalifa Bajinka, he's the commander.
What I'm trying to establish are the other people who were in charge apart from Major Khalifa Bajinka. So other people who could have given you orders.
Solbaji, like, General Solbaji.
Did he have a position at that time?
At that time, yeah, I think he's an officer that time, because we go with him at that time on patrol, He's the one we go with.
Apart from him, who else was in a position of command, essentially?
That Bora is also, I can't remember, he's also, it's part of them.
Would that be Bora Koli that
yeah.
you've mentioned before?
Yeah.
When you received this briefing from Major Khalifa Bajinka, were these people present?
They are all present.
All of them
it's
were
like
present.
a falling, yeah.
And so Apart from that briefing that you received, were you told anything else that was significant about your change from uniform to plain clothes and what the situation was at the time?
No, only Sajo Jaju who advised us, apart from Bajinka, it's only Sajo Jaju,
And was it at the same briefing or was it a different briefing?
It's a different briefing, yeah.
When did that briefing take place? The one by Sajo Jaju?
I cannot remember what is the same 2003, that time, That was before we go to that operation we are talking of, like independent newspaper,
So that was basically the starting point where you were briefed to be careful.
Yeah, that was the time, yeah.
And then you were told about an operation by
Yeah, when we
Baji.
go that day, we go. I don't even know that area. I don't even, know the area. We go, we stand behind. There is a fence, and we park the vehicle. But I know maybe the driver will know, General Baji, the area. So when we stop in the car.
Just a second. What's the name of General Baji's driver, the driver at the time?
No, he's the one driving.
Do you know his name?
No. General Sol Baji is the one driving.
He's the one driving.
Driving on that day, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You said the area generally. Can you give us an idea of where that area is located?
It's Canifing, around
Canifing.
Canifing, yeah.
Continue telling us what happened when you arrived. You said it was around 2 or 3 in the morning.
Yeah, 2, 3, something like that, Can't remember the time, actually. It was late night.
Please tell us what happened.
Yeah, he told us that, we are all in the car, it's a pickup, understand, we all come there. So he said, this order come from Yaya Jammeh that the independent newspaper should be born. So at that time he have a gallon, but for me that time I don't know that there is a fuel over there. So he take the fuel, then he brief. He said that the place supposed to burn, but I never come to that place, and I remember the briefing my commander told me and Sajo Jaju told me. Understand? So I tell them that I have when about to go, I tell General Baji that I have a knee problem and I cannot run. Understand? So I was staying in the car.
Well, before that, you told us that General Baji said the order to burn the independent newspaper came from the president. Yahya Jammeh.
Yeah.
Did General Baji have a telephone at that point, at that time?
He have a telephone, yeah.
Did he speak to anyone while you were present?
He speak to somebody, but I heard he was saying, "Yes, sir, Your Excellency." He was mentioning this for "Yes, sir, Your Excellency."
And was that before or after he told you about the mission?
After he told the mission, then that's the time after he told the mission, these people left. So he was talking in the phone with somebody. He said, "Yes, sir, Your Excellency." So when these people left,
who did you think he was speaking to when he said, "Yes, sir, Your
I
Excellency"?
think that time, I do not know, but the only person that time who have that title, we all know is the president who have that title. If they are talking as soldiers, if talking to somebody, they use "Yes, sir, Your Excellency," they use it for the president. What I think.
And so you believe he was talking to the president at the time?
Yeah, that's what that name, "Yes, sir, Your Excellency," the soldiers use it for only him.
And the president, of course, would be, what's the name?
Yeah, Jammeh, the former president.
And so when first he told you that the order to burn the independent newspaper came from Yahya Jammeh.
Yeah.
Then he provided you said a gallon
Yeah,
to the other members of your team.
yeah,
You've already given us the names, but I'll just repeat
yeah,
to make sure that it's clear. You told us General Saul Baji was the one driving.
yeah,
And so when he gave the gallon to the others, it would have been Bora Koli, Sanneh Manjang, Sheriff Gisse, Michael Correa,
yeah.
and you were there, but
Yeah.
you said you did not leave the
Yeah,
car.
I did not leave here. I say I have a knee problem. At that time, it's true, I have a knee problem. I cannot, I have the feeling that, this is running. I cannot run, but I also remember the advice. That's why I make this trick to say that, my knee is paining me.
What was in the gallon?
I don't confirm, what is inside, what I see the gallon was. It's like, maybe it's going to be like a fuel,
Did
They
he
took it.
give them anything else apart from the gallon?
No.
Did he tell them anything else apart from the president ordered us to burn down the independent newspaper?
No, he don't tell anything. He don't tell them anything at that moment. They just, it's like they know the place. There's somebody know the place, Actually, they just get down because we stand around the fence area behind the area is like there's a fence, the short fence, but behind you, that's where we park our car. So these people just go and enter there. There's like a big gate, where the car is parking. Then they enter, they go.
And while they were gone, you said that he spoke to someone and he said, "Yes, Excellency." You
Yeah.
believe it was the President,
Yeah.
Yahya Jammeh, at
Yeah.
the time. Apart from yes, sir, Your Excellency, did he say anything else?
Yeah, he told me, "You are an idiot," That's what he told me. He told me, "You are an idiot."
No, just to clarify, when he was on the phone speaking to Yahya Jammeh at the time, did you hear him say anything else apart from "Yes, sir, Your Excellency"?
No. Only he used this name, this phrase. Then after, because he's talking with someone, when after, I opened the door. But he don't even talk long. He only talk shortly. "Yes, sir, Your Excellency." Just like somebody was talking to him, he was saying, "Yes, sir, yes, sir."
So he was listening.
Yeah.
And after he hung up the phone, did he tell you anything about that conversation?
No, he don't tell me. He only tell me, "You are an idiot."
Why did he say that?
I don't know, maybe why I don't go or what, he does the only what he did me, "You are an idiot."
After the group left and went to the independent newspaper, the building with a gallon that you believe contained fuel, what happened next?
So when they go, it's like 2 minutes, it's like very short, like 2 or 2.5 minutes. They just go. One time, we heard of noise where I am, because it's just behind. We heard of the noise. Just 2 minutes, they start running. They come in running, but one of the guy, was burning, fire.
Which of the guys?
Sanneh Manjang. So when we get out of me and him with General Baji, we get out of the car, we saw when they come, somebody coming, but he starts with fire. So they run. This guy coming, he's just coming towards the car. So the other people also, because they are so panicked, they run, they pass us. So when this guy coming, his heart was burning, we take the sun, me and General Baji, we help him to use the sun to help him to off his side. All his body is burned up to his side, stomach, all the neck. That was Sanneh Manjang. So we help him to up the fire and we put in the car. These people, they even pass us, the other group, the people he went up. So we go in front, they get in the car.
Apart from Sanneh Manjang, was anyone else burned?
No, it's only him.
You told us that before you saw Sanneh Manjang running, you heard a noise.
Yeah.
Can you describe the noise that you heard?
It's like, people shouting, like somebody shouting, people, it's a lot of noise shouting.